Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Um, do let me know, fans, if the volume's a little bit better now. I have the decibels dropped on my microphone so that I'm not blasting like I was with the old recording system, so hopefully this is better. So, what are we doing today? We are playing through the 2067 season after the 2066 season ended and a Game 7 defeat in the World Series, where we're back on the horse trying to get some stuff done. And we're doing things a little bit differently than we used to. Now, in a lot of ways, if you look at this opening day lineup, you're going to be like, oh wow, cool, you got a new right fielder, Danny Farias. You've got Tony Zamora playing center field. He seems alright. But for the most part, this doesn't look too different. What we're doing that's different this season is we're playing with kind of a potpourri outfield. Like, other than Zamora playing most of the time in center, we're really spreading it out for the different corner positions and letting lots of players get a few at bats here and there. This isn't intended to be permanent. What this is intended to do is to show me who actually deserves more playing time. I'm also, to be blunt with you, trying to jack up Alvarado's trade value because I'm not going to bring him back. Um, like, the best case scenario, and I know he was instrumental to our success last season, the absolute best case scenario is that I offer him a qualifying offer and he declines it so I can get a free draft pick. But I don't actually want him back. So that's kind of where my head's at. If we can get Alvarado to have a really hot start, it's going to improve his trade value. And that's going to make him much more attractive for prospects or whatever else we decide that we need. Anyway, pitching staff is more or less the same as last season. We're rolling with Ed Hodges again as the super pitcher. Alex Hilliard has been pulled out of the rotation, put into the bullpen. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but while there's definite value in being and eating innings for 190 to 200 innings, I certainly don't dislike that. The fact of the matter is that Javi Diaz is already a better pitcher now than Hilliard was. Um, so, anyway, my friends, no more time talking. Let's simulate some games. And let's see if the Pittsburgh Pirates can repave their way to potential World Series glory. I do notice, by the way, I don't know if y'all have noticed, that the game is getting chunkier. It's because there's so much data and there's so many teams now that it is starting to slow down a little bit. Um, which it doesn't signify much to me. I don't really mind, but it is something that's worth considering as you play farther. Um, Interesting. Oh, Scott Rowland. He just made it into the Hall of Fame. Um, I personally think long overdue. Although Scott Rowland definitely isn't like an inner circle Hall of Famer, he's one of the best third basemen to ever play Major League Baseball. Um, he's probably top 10 or close to it. I'm not sure though. Alvarado is being a little bitch. I don't approve of that, but whatever. At least he's being kind and asking for his ridiculous trade now while I can still actually trade him, and not waiting until after the trading deadline. So, I normally don't look at stats, but it's very clear that the offense as a whole is struggling badly. But on the other hand, I don't see how we can make an immediate impact. Like, I can't see one player here that's definitely playing so terribly they need to be moved in the lineup. Tony Sanders is hitting like shit, but I kind of think maybe we're just off to a cold start. I don't know yet. Salgado's still drawing walks, but a lot of the rest of the offensive game is deteriorating quite badly. There is like no way in hell that Salgado regains anywhere near his value, is there? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try to trade Salgado. I'm making an executive decision Thank you very much for the memories. Oh no, wait, I was looking at the wrong guy. Still not great. He costs so much money, and I have so many players jockeying for so few spots. If we trade Salgado, we're not punting on the season. Far from it. But what we are doing is we're basically saying that the past era of Pirates' greatness is over. Because here's the thing. We don't have any good plate discipline guys other than him and to a lesser extent Tony Sanders. I'm inclined to give him at least through June, up to June, and then decide from there. But we've got to get somebody regular outfield at bats, I think. If we're going to want to be a successful team, we're going to need regular at bats for the hitters that we think have a chance. No one has 100 at bats yet. That's why I'm not overreacting yet. But I do think trading Salgado probably needs to be something that we're willing to consider. And of course, the one hitter who was being effective is injured. Thanks, game. Super cool of you. With Farias hurt, first things first, let's call up a new outfielder. It might as well be Elijah Jackson, right? Like, Elijah Jackson is a pretty talented hitter. So Alvarado becomes that. Who hits fifth now? Who among you is ready to play right field every single day? Part of me thinks it might be... Diaz is a good hitter, but that's all he is. In all honesty. Elijah Jackson is really solid, top to bottom. Bobby Ramirez had kind of a magical year last year, and I think if we protect him, I think he'll turn some heads. So I think we will do Bobby Ramirez against right-handed pitching, and we'll do Vinny Diaz against left-handed pitching. And then I'll go ahead really quickly here and generate the depth chart. I guess we could play Hilliard. We'll see how this works. Wow, the game really loves Hilliard, and I kind of see why. For all of his abilities and talents and so forth, is actually a genuinely talented player. I am not playing Glasgow every 3 days at catcher, though. Especially when Anthony Young is the entire offense right now, I don't want him playing less, I want him playing more. So we're going to see where this gets us. With another bit of time here. Sal Becerra worked out? Really? I was convinced he was going to be terrible. Now, let me put it to you this way. I'd much rather have One Love. But that is deeply disappointing and a little bit sad that whatever. It's fine. Yeah, we are not scoring runs at all. I suspect I know why. I think it's because Salgado and Sanders are shitting the bed at the top of the lineup. I'm going to wait until June 1st, but I think changes are going to have to be coming. They're going to have to be coming soon. I probably should not have re-signed Henry Salgado that season. I should have let him walk when he did, but he was the best offensive player by far, and I wanted to make sure that the offense at least didn't slide backwards. So it's not as big a deal as Sean Hill. Sean Hill was a very bad choice. Salgado is like a minor whoopsie because up until last season he was actually a pretty talented offensive player still. But he's just given up. He's given up entirely. And that's going to force us to figure out a solution to this problem. Alright. Oh. Nice job, Ed Hodges. Very nice job. Any changes here of note? Henry Salgado's allegedly getting better at hitting, which I find hard to believe. Tony Zamora's getting better. That's welcome. That is welcome. Angelo Robinson shooting up the charts like he is only going to help him. I think there's a very real possibility that we trade Tony Sanders too before too much longer. Let's take a look now at the team and how they're doing now. We're getting better. We are getting better, but offensively, there's still a lot to dislike in this lineup. Henry Salgado is fine, I guess. He's clearly a shell of his former self, though. Like, there's very little for me to look at and say, yes, he is competent. Tony Sanders is a fucking clusterfuck. I think it's time to move on from him more than just about anybody else in this lineup. Angelo Robinson is already a better shortstop than he is. With the difference that, like, I'm pretty sure Angelo Robinson won't hit either, but I won't care because he'll be playing amazing defense. And he's got enough tools that I think he might hit. So I think we're going to start by trading Tony Sanders. I should still get some pretty decent offers for him, I think. And I'm going to look players at every walk of life, because if I can find an impact bat, I will take it, and then we can move from there. Jerry Jackson can get fucked. I don't want that. Robbie Rosales is a really good defender. He's pretty fast. If I wanted a pure leadoff type, I'd probably consider Rosales, but I think he's overpaid for what he actually brings to the table. So I think that's going to be a pass for me. I could get John Navio back. I won't, but I could. I don't really want a center fielder. Let's look at batters. I feel like I'm wasting my time looking at pitchers because I have no real desire to upgrade in the pitching staff right now. Okay. Orlando Penamuri. You're just Robinson, but more expensive. I don't think so. I don't think that helps me. Yeah, I don't want a guy like Rodolfo Rodriguez. I need somebody who's a little bit more reliable. Why is Josh Page getting paid this much money? What is it about his... Oh, he's actually not getting paid that much. I misheard that as $28 million a year, but in fact he's just $28 million every now and again. I wouldn't hate a guy like Page, in all honesty. I'm going to keep looking, though, in case there is a truly exceptional player here. Robbie Rosales is a no. I could get John Navio back. I don't know how that helps me, though. Justin Odoms is very much a dude that's slightly overpaid, but again, I don't see that changing the game for me. I don't see that being a huge benefit. Ruben Villegas has a lot to recommend him, actually. He's a good contact gap power guy with enough other offensive attributes that I think he is a very solid choice. But is Elijah Bohannon even better? Oh, this looks like a leadoff guy to me. This absolutely looks like a leadoff guy. And that's going to make our team better. Plus, Bohannon's a year younger. I love this plate discipline, and that's why I think he'll play nicely. He won't hit as many homers, but I'm hoping he hits like 270 or so, and then draws a whole bunch of walks to get in good position to score runs. Villegas is right up there. I don't want to make it seem like he's not a good player, but I think I've got guys like this. I don't have a guy like Bohannon right now. And Bohannon makes Salgado movable, so I think we're going to make this deal. We're going to pick up Mr. Bohannon here. First things first, Angelo Robinson gets promoted to the big leagues to play shortstop. And then I'm going to trade Henry Salgado. Or am I? No, you know what? Let's send down Ramirez, who's hitting quite poorly to start the season. Give him some reps in AAA. And let's let Bohannon play in right. Like, every day. I think that's a better use of our talent level right now, is letting Bohannon play every day in right field. Like so. Anthony Young is crushing it this season, so I'm going to move him up the lineup nice and quick like. And let's go ahead and slot in Angelo Robinson as the everyday shortstop, batting ninth. And now let's reset depth charts here. I don't want Hilliard playing this often. Unless Hilliard's just going to start raking pitches every time he steps up. He is hitting fairly well. But he's not very good defensively, and I just want Bohannon to get regular reps. I want some level of consistency for the moment. If you want Hilliard to be available to DH or what have you, that's fine. But for right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at. And then we're going to go starter tired of starter tired. And again, I can't take one of my best offensive players and pull him out of the lineup. Alright, let's see how this works. With two really good bat-to-ball guys who draw lots of walks hitting first and second, that should hopefully set a nice table for Pagan and Alvarado and Anthony Young, who I'm going to ride until it all falls off. With Palacios and Almaguer and the others contributing offensively where needed. I'm going to move up to Zamora too, just because Palacio is off to such an ice cold start, and see if this gets us any better. Alright. So I'm not going to trade Salgado yet, but I have the feeling that Salgado's time with the Pirates is rapidly reaching an end. Because let's be realistic here. There is no way, and I mean no way, that Salgado doesn't exercise his player option. I would be literally stunned if he did. If Salgado decides that he can get more money in the open market, he's delusional. And maybe he's just delusional. That's fine. But I don't see that being realistic for him. I don't see that being realistic for the way the engine works. I don't think Salgado's going to opt out of this last year. Because he's not going to make more money. He's only going to make less. Nobody's going to take a DH who hasn't hit consistently in a couple of years and give him like $50 million a year. Oh, we definitely need Farias back. We need that pop. So which outfielder goes to the minors? It's Elijah Jackson. Farias comes right back up. And now the question is, what do we do with Danny Alvarado? Has Alvarado reached the point where he is no longer worth keeping in the lineup? I don't think so, but I also can't afford to bench Bohannon. Because if we're going to be successful, a guy like Bohannon regularly getting on base is going to be a key piece of that. For us is a better left fielder. Maybe I do trade Alvarado. Because here's the thing, Alvarado is going to be a huge asshole if I don't let him play every day. Like, without any question, Alvarado will lose his shit if I bench him. Even if I do think he... And the thing is, I don't think that he deserves it either. I think in a situation with slightly different personnel, I'd probably keep him. Okay, if we lose him, how does that affect our power game? Yeah, Alvarado is toward the bottom end of our power game right now. So I think we're going to go ahead and trade him now, while he's still got fairly good value. And I am looking specifically for prospects at this point. I don't necessarily want to disrupt the clubhouse by bringing another high price acquisition, unless they're going to be somebody significantly better than what I've got right now. So for now, I'm just going to kick the tires and see if I can get an interesting prospect. Want to look for them green numbers. I'd love a green hitter, but I will take a green pitcher if that's all I can get. Alright. Because this is as much about freeing up a spot from my roster as it is... Yeah. Okay, Willie Rojas. Fastball splitter. Really good stuff. Okay movement. Pretty decent control. There's a lot to like here, except for the fact he doesn't have a breaking ball. That does give me some concern. Greg Smith, fastball slider, good stuff, good movement. I think he's going to be a better pitcher. And he's a lefty. And he's a borderline starter. You know what? I'd like to get more than just Greg Smith, but I'm feeling that getting any of the really, really great players is just going to be kind of a lost cause. Like, I would love Josh Chamorro, even though he is a relatively limited pitcher. But you're not going to give him to me. Not without me giving up something really ridiculous. Like, I don't know why he's not in the major leagues right now, but that wasn't ever going to be a successful thing. And they're not going to be David Nunez either, I don't think. So let's look a little bit deeper. Wow, what about Kenny Gaines, actually? No, I don't want Kenny Gaines. Is there anybody who's like a giant power bat just waiting to be brought along? No? No. I don't think we're getting anybody else. I wonder if they'd give us like a third round draft pick. No, third rounder doesn't do it for you. What about a sixth rounder? I don't think it's worth it. I do have like minor regrets about trading Alvarado, but I think what we have now and what we have available to us is going to make us a better team without him. So we're gonna pull this trigger here, and we're gonna call Elijah Jackson right back up to the bigs to be our utility guy. But it's funny, interesting that they basically bury Hilliard now when before like 5 minutes ago, they're like, oh my god, Alex Hilliard is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And now they're just kind of like, meh. I wonder if part of it was his defense? I don't know. But for right now, my friends, we're just going to go ahead and keep going. Javi Diaz is another big issue here, as is Michael Broadwater. But I'm willing to let them both work out their troubles. There's a lot to like about Javi Diaz, but there's a lot to dislike too, especially that home run rate. We're going to see how he does, though, with some talented players behind him. Last thing I want to check is anybody else coming up in free agency that's going to want a whole shit ton of money? Okay, if I can lock up Juan Love for pennies on the dollar, I'm going to do it. What if we do 5-year deal, and I'll give you this. And every season you get at least 150 innings, you're going to get another $2 million. How does this work for you? No, he definitely doesn't. You know what? Fuck it. 6 years, $6 million a year. Like, I will deliberately overpay you because you mean that much to me. 10 million, 12 million, and I'll still give you that 150 innings equals $2 million bonus. And we'll throw in some other rewards. So like if you win Cy Young, that's $2 million. If you get an All-Star selection, $500 grand. Let's see if this is able to lock him up for us. It's not. I'll just let him go through arbitration, and he quite clearly doesn't want a longer-term deal. I can respect that. I don't know how I feel about Justin Tuss. I don't know how I feel about specifically the fact that he wants so much money and isn't a truly dominating closer. He's a good pitcher. Maybe even a very good pitcher, but he's not a great pitcher. And so that gives me some small concern going forward. I was thinking of going forward, let's go ahead and play some more at-bats. And let's just see how things look with the new look Pirates. With Alvarado and Sanders out, and Robinson and Bohannon in. I don't know how I feel about Salgado. Bad leading off. Let's see where he is at the beginning of July. But I am... Okay. Player development. Orlando Salgado's getting better. Juan Love is plateauing a bit. Javi Diaz is struggling a little. Michael Broadwater's getting better, though. Better control, better stuff. You'd like to see it. Vinny Diaz is becoming a much better player, too. He's going to get some good hard looks as the season progresses. Cool. Wait. No, not Bobby Ramirez. I do want Bobby Ramirez to get another chance at some point, but I think very clearly he's struggling, and I'm not going to call him up. Barring a couple of serious injuries, I think he's going to stay in the minors the rest of the season. Hi, Bobby Manzano, but what I really need is a tremendous hitter. Kevin Villalobos, perhaps? Like, he's not a catcher. And I don't like his lack of gap power, which means if his home run power doesn't work out, we're gonna have issues. Like the best pure hitter is Olvera. Like there's no disputing that. I think we'll offer Olvera just because we do need that unique offensive talent. And it's only money, right? It's only money. All right. So Henry Salgado is really starting to turn it up a little bit. Almaquer is actually the more disappointing player. All of a sudden, it looks like he's not hitting. And I just gave him like a reasonably high contract extension. I have to hope he warms up a little bit because right now he is ice cold. And if we look at his BABIP, it is drastically lower than his career norms. So maybe he'll figure it out and he just needs some extra time. Palacios, I don't know what else to tell you, dude. Like, it feels like I'm overpaying for 2 and 3 win players. Which I am. Because they just don't hit. Or whatever their deal is. Angelo Robinson, I know you're not hitting great. That's not what you're here for. You're here to play flawless defense. As long as you're playing great defense, I will let you stay in this lineup. Diaz and Broadwater both struggling a bit. Broadwater's walks are the big concern here. If he can get this back under control, I think we'll be fine. But I do think that there's some growing pains for the rotation. Tufts, you're on thin ice, my friend. Very thin ice. And I'm not going to keep paying you lots and lots of money if you're not going to pitch better. We're no better in stolen bases, which is whatever. You know, what if? $20 leadoff homers seems like a bad place to slot him. I'm not going to bat Young leadoff or even bat him second. I think this offense isn't going to last that long. I don't see him being that good an offensive contributor for that long. But a guy like Zamora batting second and Salgado batting sixth could be really helpful. Like, Zamora's a threat to run. And so if Bohannon's leading off and getting on base, they're going to have to pitch to not to Salgado, sorry. To Zamora. And he's going to get opportunities to run with Pagano. Yes, I think that's what we do. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move Bohannon here. And Zamora's going to hit second. And we're going to see how this works for the next month or so and see if having Salgado's bat lower in the lineup makes him even more dangerous. Because, hey, if he's giving me 3-4 wins, we're still overpaying, but it's not nearly as egregious. The pitching is more concerning to me. The rotation is meant to be the strength of this team, and only Nate Sinclair and Orlando Salgado are pitching at a high level this season. And Juan Love. I don't know what Juan Love's issue is. Why does your WAR look so terrible? You're getting plenty of innings. You're striking people out. Yeah, you're giving up homers, but I don't see why your WAR is rated as low as it is here. When you're basically doing the exact same thing you did last season. Except for the home run rate spike. Maybe we'll get that under control, who knows. Friends, we're going to go ahead and keep on going. And see where life takes us from here. Alright. We got Nate Sinclair. Attendance is going up. He likes the record. He's grumpy. We're not stealing more bases. We got Olvera. That's extremely huge news. Okay. we're only content. And if I were to pinpoint one person who's really tanking everything, it's probably Solomon McGuire. I think we need fewer temperamental people or more normal people on this team. So I'm going to let McGuire walk. McGuire is a bit of an issue. What about Juan Sosa? I think we let Sosa walk too, and we just make some internal promotions to fill those two gaps. Go ahead and everyone gets an extension that wants one. Offer extension. Kevin Steele. There's nothing wrong with Kevin. He's not an amazing manager by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't mind him lurking in the lower levels. Jimmy Fisher is wonderful. Jimmy Fisher's got a real chance of being a top quality bench coach someday. Let's get you a new extension. Oscar Rodriguez, fantastic pitching coach. And Alan Dykes, really good hitting coach. I feel very good about all three of you. I'd like to keep you around, even if it means you get promoted. That's fine. Ramon Salguero is very highly regarded by me. And I never got a pitching coach. That qualifies as a whoopsie daisy. Let's give In-Ho Kim. Why don't you come hang out with us, my dude? I'm going to put in the top 100 prospects. Do I even have a top 10 minor league system? I bet I don't. I have the 9th minor league system. What? Damn. You know what? I can't. I can't give up on his talent level, but he has not performed at all in professional baseball. Like, just not remotely at all. Interesting. Angel Oliveira really shot us up the list. That's cool. Let's, for right now, go ahead and go to the first-year player draft, and let's try to add in some even more talent in. And get maximum baseball. Alright, first-year player draft. Let's frickin' go. Wow, dead last. Again. Gross. Okay. I need premium hitting talent. But I'm not seeing a premium hitter in this draft. I'm seeing very good pitching talent. Like a Brian Delaney, a Ricky Simpson, a Jeremy Morris, a Seth Blocker. I see a lot of good to great pitching talents. What I don't see is I don't see much in the way of elite hitting talent. There are two batters that give me some... Let's do search by batters, right? First of all of you are fairly raw, with the exception of Alex Quinones. He's maybe the most polished of my choices here. Let's start by looking at Dan Garay. There is a lot to like about Dan Garay. He's a good corner outfielder who won't embarrass himself in center. He's got great contact and gap power with some pretty solid home run power. If there's a flaw in his game, it's that he doesn't draw too many walks. But if he's not going to strike out much in the big leagues, that's less of a concern to me. So Garay's definitely on my radar. Andy Reyna is a legitimately good third baseman. I think he's got a chance to stick at the position and be a premium defender. He's also got really good power. But my concern with Mr. Reyna isn't his home run power or even his contact, it's the rest of his game. Not to mention, he's starting with a 9 out of 62 in contact routines. He's got a whole lot of growing to do. Now, if he works out, amazing. But if he doesn't, we're going to look awfully silly. Panula is a very good all-around player. I see nothing that recommends him over Garay. Pretty decent. Manny Marine is contact only. What about Alex Quinones? There's a couple things about Quinones that actually intrigue me quite a bit. First things first, he's a really talented hitter. And because he's a college player, he's much closer to hitting his ceilings. I don't think he's a center fielder. I truly don't. But he's obviously a smart guy because he's going to Vanderbilt, right? He's no dummy. And he's graduating as a 4-year senior. He's a really good defender. I could see him easily being a Gold Glover in either corner. So I know this seems strange, but it's only a few points off of upside. I think Quinones is the guy to go with. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to check, though. He is going to struggle with left-handed pitching. I will live with that. I think Quinones offers us the best chances to be successful. Let me just really quickly check Justin Bell. I like Bell a lot. I love how good he is at so many different positions, and I will draft him in the second round, but I'm not going to bother in the first round. We're going to take Quinones instead. Justin Bell, welcome to the Pirates. Plus, you played for Ohio State. All right, let's look at the remaining players and try to decide who we want most now. I don't want to go the first round without picking at least one pitcher. Lurion is going to cost me a lot of money. But if he develops, I think he'll be worth it. So I think we're going to go ahead. We're going kind of cheap on our first and second round picks. I think we can very easily afford to draft him. Everyone's passing on Sulho Panula. It's not hard to see why. He's merely a very competent outfielder, and he's not really a superstar. Sometimes quiet competence is a nice thing, though. And Panula is a better defender, but Nunez is the better hitter. Let's take Nunez. He's also a year younger, which means there's still time for him to unlock another gear. Alright, he keeps sliding. I'll take Panula in the 6th round. It cost me nothing, quite literally. Is there any big hulking power guy? Just guy who will smoke baseballs. Mostly figuratively, possibly literally, yes. Hello, Juan. Hello, Gabe. And definitely want to try to grab at least one more pitcher. Jorge Calderon, fastball splitter, no thanks. Jose Diaz, sidearm lefty, control issues, but fastball cutter looks nice. That's not a terrible mix of pitch types. Justin, son of Tyler Durden, fastball sinker, meh. Ruben Gonzalez, fastball splitter, meh. Orlando Sarabia is a low-key decent second base type. I think I'm willing to give him an opportunity. And I'm just going to go ahead and let my scouting director pick the rest of the draft. I did 10 rounds. I feel pretty good about the picks we made. I feel pretty good. You want above $8 million? You want above $8 million? $10 million. Okay, I thought we were going to $100 million. I was like, I don't think the owner's going to sign off on that. But no, he wanted $10 million. How much do you want, Sarabia? Out of curiosity, you want more than $12 million? Like, I know that it's only money, but you're not that good. Like, you only hit for average. That's your only offensive tool. So no, thank you. Enjoy college. I hope you have a wonderful experience. Make lots of friends and learn something. Guys, we are not scoring runs this season. I'm seeing a lot of like borderline shutouts, which isn't thrilling. Canones, you are not playing an A ball. Not at your level. I'm going to disable demotion and promotion. I'm going to send you right to A-ball. Because that's where you belong. You're already 23 years old. I don't have any desire to let you rot in the minors. Who from the Pirates got an all-star nod? Nate Sinclair, obviously. And Ed Hodges. And Anthony Young. And that seems to be it. And honestly, I don't really blame the game for any of those picks. Yeah, 3 Pittsburgh All-Stars is probably 2 more than we deserve. Hey, Ed Hodges has been phenomenal. I definitely appreciate what he's bringing to the club. If I were to say, but I would drop him if I had to drop one of the 3 All-Stars. But I'm pretty happy about that. David Tennessee made the All-Star game, and none of my hitters did, which is probably cause for concern if you think about it. How we doing, team? We're doing okay. We're not doing great, but we're doing okay. I do think we are still badly lacking power. Like, we are 17th in home runs in our league. Are there 19 teams in... Yeah, there are 19 teams. We're dead last in stolen bases. We're still scoring runs at a decent clip. I'm concerned about the lack of home runs. It is what it is. I don't really see a solution to that problem at the moment, unless we trade. Orlando Palacios, I love your defense, but at a certain point, I need you to hit 2. And you're not doing that. I'm basically overpaying for defense. So if I were to say take a look at the trading block, and let's just look at third base. Wait, Moises Villanueva is a good defensive third baseman. He is not a good hitter. I don't want him. Jordan Cervantes, tilting at windmills there. I don't hate Chase Talton. I'm not convinced he's any better, but I don't hate that. Old pal Mike Soto is still wrapping around in the majors. If Ozzy was trying to get rid of the contract, I'd probably trade for Talton. But the thing is, I want more than that. I want a really good power-hitting third baseman. Let's use the player finder. Not player search, you absolute potatoes. It's under find a player. I want hitters that play third base. Defensive better be at least 50. And I want power. I'll be at least 65. These are my criteria here. What do you got for me? That's just funny to me. But no, Luis Ormond is quite obviously a wonderful player. I'm sure we can't get him. Like, I'm sure that we can't. Chris Cannon will be perfect in so many ways. I don't see them giving him up, though. What do I need to trade to get Chris Cannon in my life? Either Love or Broadwater. And I am not going to trade from another position of strength. Like starting pitching. Like, I guess I could give up one pitcher, but I don't really want to give up either one of them, is the issue. I could give you Javi Diaz. I could live with that. Because I can move Hilliard back to the rotation and just call somebody else up. Okay, I can get... Okay, this is perfect. You apparently desperately wanted Javi Diaz. How about you take Palacios off my hands? Do you have an intriguing pitcher that you might be willing to part with? Like a Bruce Rodriguez, perhaps? No. Okay, so what are we getting here with Chris Cannon? We're getting a legit superstar with the bat, who's got elite power and tremendous plate discipline. We're paying a lot of money for that, but we need both of those things. And we're still getting a pretty accomplished third baseman. Would you eat any of his salary? This would make me laugh my ass off if you eat his entire salary, but I know that you won't. You'll eat 70% of his salary, too. This is the no-brainingest no-brainer in no-brainer history. Done. I needed to get better offensively, and I just did. Now, Javi Diaz certainly is not someone we're going to be able to replace easily. But then again, there's Dave McTavish making himself into a fucking starter and actually looking like he's really good at it. So, yes, I will give him a chance. The question is, do we get Hilliard, put him back in the rotation? I think we do. Let's put Hilliard back in the rotation. Let's push Fujii to setup. And make Dave McTavish emergency starter long reliever. I feel good about this. Now, where do we play our new pal, Chris Cannon? What a name. I think Chris Cannon, honestly, is going to be hitting 5th. Over Salgado. And I think that makes us that much better. So, Chris Cannon, boom. Over Salgado. And Young bats 7th. And generate me a new depth chart, if you please. And there. Look, I know that Salgado's actually having an okay season, but I think letting Hilliard play more frequently is also a good idea. Like, letting him hit when he's DHing, I think, is a good choice. Because he's actually hitting at a fairly high level, and he's going to go even more thump in this lineup if we give him that opportunity. So I think that we shall. I'm going to go to set game strategy, and I'm going to say skip the DH when he's pitching. That'll both give Salgado a regular break and still help us out with the rest of the deal here. It isn't lost to me, by the way, that Palacios was a incredible defender, and we might lose a little bit of defense with Cannon, but I think Palacios is too good to be a third baseman. I think Palacios is really truly a shortstop that happened to play third base. You want Julian Williams. You're offering me Christian Kirkendall, sorry. A good defender. How's Hector Carranza? Hector Carranza is terrible. So if people want Julian Williams, I will trade Julian Williams, but I'm not going to trade him for a piss poor return like that. Let's go ahead and offer him up. I'm going to try a prospect package. Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith is kind of a bust. I don't think he's going to have a very bright future in the major leagues. Willie Barbosa doesn't have a breaking pitch. I probably need to let that go, honestly. Maybe I do go with Eddie Smith and see if he just unlocks another year with us, perhaps. David Renteria, though, is a really good pitcher, and David Rivas might someday be an okay hitter. Yeah, let's make this deal. It frees up an opening on our 40-man too. Is there anybody whose contract is currently scheduled to expire at the end of the year? Wait, what? My money for extensions has disintegrated because it only cut his salary for this first season. I didn't think that's what would happen, but that actually makes some sense. And Justin Tuss wants a lot of money that he can get from somebody else, quite frankly. I'm not going to pay Justin Tuss $12 million when he's not even the most important pitcher on the team. It turns out I do have a limit of how much money I can spend. And it's apparently the money that I'm spending right now. Fancy that. Fancy that. We might miss the playoffs. Now that I think about it, we might miss the playoffs. I'm not 100% sure that we will, but it is exceedingly possible that we miss the playoffs, especially... Now, then again, I do think we've got the tools to make a big run here in the last couple months of the season, and we're still very much in playoff position. We're only a few games back, but a lot is going to depend on how everything works out with the offense, with adding in some of these talented players. Especially Chris Cannon. We're betting big on him, and if he doesn't work out, we'll look awfully dumb. I find it really, really annoying that we're constantly only scoring like 3 or 4 runs a game. Like, this is a better offense than that. Just a nice little run here to build up some wins and put ourselves back into position. Losing Danny Farias again is kind of lame, though. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie, team. I'm not enamored of losing Farias again. Next man up is going to be Manny Castillo. It's not going to be Bobby Ramirez because I said I want Ramirez to play every day in the minors. I am going to play Vinny Diaz in left field. I think that's the right... Or do we play Elijah Jackson? Do you know what? What if we do Les Jackson in left field and have Vinny Diaz in left field? I actually like that a lot. It gives Diaz more meaningful at bats while putting a really talented hitter in left field. And Jackson, I think that works quite well. Manny Castillo, I'm going to go ahead and make you a specialist. If we ever need somebody to shut down a tough lefty, I'm going to bring you in. Again, we're going to let the bench coach and third base coach walk. I think that's sensible. Okay, an 18 spot definitely feels good. Alex hit 600 homers. Shut the fuck up, Alex. You could have come to me. You could have been a megastar, and you chose not to because you're a jerk. And I don't like you anymore. Okay, Nate Sinclair's using heat off his fastball. That is a concern. That is a big concern. We're going to get through this, though. We're going to get through this, team. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fantastic. What are we rocking right now for, like, high-level minors, guys? Is anybody need some love, some promotions? I do need to clear out a whole bunch of people in rookie ball. That's a bit ridiculous now. This all looks okay. Alright, this is all fine. Tony Trejo, huh? As utilities guys go, I don't hate you. Before we go any farther, though, super quick move. I'm going to do a purge of rookie ball. So I'm going to switch to this league here. Oh no, it's definitely the Gulf Coast League that needs to be turned on. Yeah, here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some filtering. So anybody over the age of 24 should not be in rookie ball. It's only one player. See you later, Jonathan Jimenez. And now let's look at everybody whose potential is between 20 and 25. All right, y'all can be cut too. Now let's check at 25 and 30. All right, one more group of people that we'll cut here. And how many people do I have in rookie ball now? I saw 75 players in rookie ball. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything about that. I don't want to trim people from there any farther than we already have. Alright, amigos, let us, please. Do I want to call anybody up? Like to get some pitching reps or to get some offensive reps in? I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody here that I want to bother with. And honestly, none of these pitchers are overworked except for probably Ed Hodges, so I don't really feel like I need to worry about that. I'm going to tell you this much right now for free. Justin Tuss is getting traded in the offseason. I have better things to do with my money than pay a closer who only throws like 50 innings a year. And not even that, really. So, yeah. Go ahead and nuke this, please. And let us go ahead and advance forwards into the future. I wish we'd pick up the pace a little bit here. Oh no. Anyway. Can I have one of my players end up in one of these things saying that something really good happened to one of my guys? Because it doesn't seem to happen very much. How are we pennant chase wise? We've got about a 50-50 shot of making the postseason at this point. We need to heat up. I mean, Chris Cannon definitely has power. We're not missing out there. Underrated, by the way, is the collapse of Tony Pagan. His all of a sudden inability to hit is another thing that's really held us back. And it's like his offensive tools are getting worse. They're not. He's just not hitting. So hopefully he can give us a nice little bounce back season. Assuming he doesn't opt out. If he does opt out, good riddance. I will find a new first baseman. Anthony Young predictably has cooled off. Chris Cannon is producing in a big way. Which is great to see. I mean, I say that now, and then in a couple seasons, I'm going to be weeping at how much money he's costing me. But for now, I'll live with it. Okay, we get Danny Farias back. Farias' first season has actually been okay. Elijah Jackson is actually hitting fairly well. What about Vinny Diaz? Yeah, he's fine. I'm paying a lot of money for Danny Farias. It almost seems like I have to put him back in the lineup. Yeah, let's do it. Let's put Farias back in the lineup in left field. I sound so disappointed when I say that. I think it's because I wish I hadn't signed him now. Like, had I known we were going to get Chris Cannon, I never would have signed Farias. Because Farias is almost as good, or Cannon is better than Farias at a much tougher position. And I just don't see a huge amount of value in overpaying for that. Poor John Navio. Remember when he had 44 home runs in one season and then just disintegrated into dust? I remember. So it's Pepperidge Farm. I wonder where everybody's icons went. That's kind of funny, actually. I sure would feel a whole lot better if I saw a Z next to Pittsburgh Pirates. To the left, by the way, not changing the Z at the end. The S at the end to a Z. There's a whole lot of teams with 87 wins. A whole lot of teams with 87 wins. In fact, I'm counting 4 of them. Alright. Let's quickly evaluate this particular game against Atlanta. What does it mean to us in the grand scheme of things? Oh, he says I have a 100% chance of making the playoffs. Okay, let's look at wild cards here. There are 3 wild cards in the NL. Yeah, I think we've got it. If we lose... Okay, if either the Padres or we... Okay, let me do the math really quickly. We have 16 teams in the postseason, right? I just see exactly... I'm trying to determine if I need to play this game or not. Okay, right now, 14 teams make the postseason. 7 in each division. Or 7 in each league. Okay. Cool. At the moment, we are in the 7th position. Not counting the 3 division winners. That said, if we beat the Braves, then we'll go 89 and 73, and I don't think we can get kicked out at that point. If we win, we're in. I think even if we lose, there's a good chance that we're in. A lot's going to depend on what Fresno does. So if Fresno loses or I win, I'm in no matter what. Let's see what happens, though. Can we finish strong? We do finish strong, and we make the playoffs. It's not a division title, by the way. It's most definitely a wild card spot. I feel really good about that. I think we showed a lot of tenacity after getting off to an incredibly ice-cold start. And, of course, Danny Farias is hurt again, because... Why the hell not? I'm going to put you on the 60-day IL just because I want you off my damn roster, and that's where we are right now. Playoff roster. I do need to carry another outfielder. Let's grab Bobby Ramirez. No, yes. Because if you remember, Bobby Ramirez was extremely hot in the postseason last year. We're going to play Elijah Jackson and Vinny Diaz. And I'm going to let you guys set things up here. Oh, right. That explains it. Actually, you know what? To hell with it. Play Hilliard in left field when we need a right-handed starting or a right-handed bat. Okay. I think Broadwater gets left off the postseason pitching staff as a starting pitcher. We're going to go to a 4-man rotation, bump up Hilliard, and add in Salgado. And a glorious victory. Well done, team. Well done. A second victory. A real pitcher's duel in this one. Juan Love came to play, guys. He was just ever so slightly off. Nate Sinclair got roughed up, but you know what? We made it to the next round, and that's all that I care about. Looks like we'll be playing the Padres in the division series. Really tight win, but good job by Hilliard. Look at Juan Love putting together a masterpiece. That's good stuff, guys. That's really good stuff. And a sweep. Very nice by Nate Sinclair. All right. And we will be playing the San Francisco Giants. Okay, do we have any chance at all to get Sinclair in? If we wait one more day, is Nate Sinclair going to be rested enough? Yes, I want my ace to pitch as much as possible. It's a 7-game series. I am going to go ahead and go to a 5-man rotation and add Broadwater back in. Because I think one of our issues last time around is that some of our pitchers are kind of burned out. So a narrow 1-run victory, a unnarrow 14-run loss. We got destroyed again. Oh dear. Come on, guys. Don't let it end like this. There we go. A narrow victory. If we can keep the games close, I like our bullpen. I think our bullpen is kind of our secret weapon. Broadwater actually pitched okay. You guys, I don't really care how the season ends. I'm not going to play any elimination games because I don't think it matters at this point. I mean... Oh, but it's a trip to the World Series. I wasn't going to play Game 6. I think we have to play Game 7, though. I think it's a trip to the World Series. Let's go. Turn my headphones back on. Wow, I don't even get... Oh, it's because all the icons disappeared. That's why. That's why. Let's start the game. I'm going to try something a little unorthodox. Well, based on how I usually play, I like to have people swing a lot. I think I'm going to be a little bit more cautious here. So go ahead and take a pitch, my friend. We need every advantage we can possibly get if we're going to return to the World Series. That is an excellent pitch. I don't think we could have hit that without a lot of luck. Take one more pitch and I'll turn you loose, my dude. Boom. Look at that. Look at that working. A quality move there. I love it. Tony Zamora most definitely, because he doesn't have great power. I definitely want him to be selective. That cutter is filthy. He doesn't throw very hard, does our friend Mr. Alvarez, but he is a scary dude. Yeah, you've got to go for it. And you strike out. He did chase a bad pitch. Tony Pagan, you have the green light to do whatever it is you see fit. Really, Pagan? I don't expect you to strike out in that situation. Other players maybe, but not you. Oh, that pitch was not a strike. No, it was. You swung it up. Ah, it's alright. Come on, Juan. I'd love to see you do well this game. Good job, Hilliard. Oh, that pitch was a strike. That was filthy, though. I wish you'd be a little bit more creative, though, with your pitch selection. But I'll take it. I will take it, friends. Henry Salgado, old friend, old pal. We're at 26 pitches. It's only the second inning. I want to see if Hilliard can turn loose here. Nope. He's just going to take a pitch and strike out. That's a lot of pitches, though. Anytime you get a 6-pitch at bat, no matter how it works out, it's a good at bat for your team. And Anthony Young is whatever. Oh no. Oh no, Love. Okay. Shoo. Thank goodness that wind, I don't know if you caught that, the wind is blowing in. That's going to help us a little bit, maybe. Oh, there goes the no-hitter. Not that it matters. Like, we weren't going to get a no-hitter anyway, but... Oh, come on! Really? Fucking Gus Lopez hits a home run. The man hit 14 all season. Oh my gosh. I have visions of Game 7 of the World Series dancing in my head right now. I need you to get back on. How are you letting a 228 hitter just tear you right up the middle? Come on, my dude, you're better than that. Okay, Almoquer, don't do that again. Just go pick up the ball. Don't try to make it look fancy. That's an out. So far, the difference is that Manny Alvarez is being fucking ridiculous with his pitches, and we are not. We're not getting good wood on the ball, other than that one single that Bohannon led off with. We've got to wear him down. We got to get him out of the game, no matter what it takes. Okay, my dude, swing if you like. And take a walk. That'll work. We got to get base runners. That is the most important thing to get here. And that's a strikeout again because that fucking cutter. That pitch should be illegal. Anyway. Really? Oh my god, would you quit hitting his stuff? I think we have to pull Love. I truly do. If you don't fucking figure this out, like in record time, my god, you have to be pulled out of the game. I don't know what your problem is, why all of your shit is getting hammered, but you need to fix it, like, right now. Okay, strikeout is lovely, but Holland is terrifying. Another strike. Good job by Young. I mean, I could pitch around Cager, right? Cager's a really good hitter. But on the other hand, like, Lopez is the guy who's already hit a home run this game. Okay, seriously, fucker? Quit throwing wild pitches. What the hell were you doing? Why are these pitches so far off where they're supposed to be? I don't know. It's 3-2 count. Go for it. Okay. Alright. That was nerve-wracking. I need those hits to stop San Francisco. Would you fucking hit? Guys, seriously. Okay, I want you to hit the ball in fair territory where they cannot catch it. Forgive me for not being more specific. Oh my god, everyone is striking out like Manny Alvarez is a freaking ace. He's not that fantastic. Alright, we got Gus Lopez. Oh my gosh! How the hell are they getting these great big pieces of every one of his pitches? And it's another fucking homer. What the hell? Okay, it wasn't a home run. That felt like a home run. I don't know what is going on with Love, but he's done. I can't do it. I cannot bring him out there for another inning. Let's see. You've got coming up. You've got the pitcher and then switchy lefty. Let's get Dave McTavish warming up. Now, Manny Alvarez, I need you to fucking cool it. Okay? I need you to stop pitching like this is the greatest day of your life. I need you to make some mistakes, please. That's not a mistake. That's an easy ground ball. There we go. Almahuer got on base. That's nice. Can we do it? Oh, it wasn't Almahuer. Sorry, that was Anthony Young. And Almahuer hits into a double play. It's because I gave you credit for something you didn't deserve. You can pitch to Murillo, Love. I can do that much for you. And that's it. I'm not letting you pitch it to another hitter. I don't trust you at all. Good play by McTavish. And an excellent play by Cannon. Good job. Come on, Robinson. Put something... No. I don't know why you even bothered to say anything. Clearly, we're not hitting Alvarez today. That's not a thing that we're allowed to do, except for Bohannon. That fucking cutter hits. It's not very hard, but he's able to spot it almost any time he wants to. We need to get base runners. That's going to be how we come back in this game. If we come back, is we get base runners. Or we just strike out, because that's all we fucking do this game. Why is everyone striking out? Oh my god, would you stop? Like, an out is an out is an out, right? Like, there's no such thing as a great out. But you're all, like, flailing wildly at every pitch, and it's like you forgot how to play baseball all of a sudden. I mean, I don't love the fact that you just walked him, but you struck out Cager, which is a nice bounce back thing, and then you struck him out too. Okay, someone's got to give. I got to get hits. Every fucking one of you is just like, this is the most unhittable pitcher in history. Well, that is a hit. It's a double, but it's a hit. Don't go for 3. Take your double. And a good hit by Hilliard. Or Cannon, rather. That wasn't Hilliard. Hilliard hasn't hit yet. He'll hit after Salgado. There's a run. Alright, it is actually capable. We are capable of hitting him. Alright, so this is the top of the 7th. I've got to get through 2 more innings. It's probably going to be Espinosa. Because everyone else is... it could be Medina, actually. Let's go and warm up Medina, actually. I'm going to plan to keep McTavish in unless things go horribly, horribly wrong. I mean, Hilliard could just strike out because that's, you know, a thing that everyone on this team does for fun. You walked Young, and they pulled him out of the game. Can you get us one more hit on Mohair, please? I'm begging you. You know what? I got my hit, and I still feel like that wasn't ideal because Salgado's so slow. A balk? Holy shit. I am speechless. Balking in a run. That's wild. Let's see how you deal with the first dude here. Okay, that throw was a little high, but that's alright. And... oh, dude. I kind of leave you in there to face Mendoza and Trejo just because they're much worse against left-handed pitching. All right, guys, please. Oh my, McTavish! I played the fucking percentages and you fucked up. Guys, we deserve to lose this game. The moment you gave up the hit, I should have pulled you out of the game, but I decided to get cute. I decided that I knew better, and yeah. Oh my god, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. And let me put it to you this way. It's not like Trejo's a bad hitter. Even he had 29 homers. Like, this is not someone to treat lightly. But what I need my actual premium hitters to start hitting like the game matters. Bohannon hit that pretty hard. Is that out? It is out. Nice. Medina only threw to one hitter, so I will let him stay in. I'll get Espinosa warmed up if I need a change of pace there, but... Zamora hits a weak little dealy there. Pagan, please. What the fuck, dude? Like, you're not a... like, yes, you strike out, but you struck out every at-bat this game. Like, you're the number 3 hitter. I have you in because I trust you. Don't give up a homer, please. That's the only thing I don't want you to do. Medina, you asshole. Okay. Apparently if I yell at them while the ball's in the air, it keeps the ball in the park. Can you stop fucking grooving every damn pitch? Like, every pitch you're throwing is right in, like, the center of the plate. And what is with these freaking... I don't really want to bring in Espinosa, but clearly you're getting hit. And no double play because randomly Almaguer decides not to throw it. And Hilliard caught it. Alright. Let's get Latona warming up. Like, I'm not at all convinced it's even going to matter. Because I don't know that we have 3 runs in us, but it's possible. We're going to find out starting with Mr. Salgado here. That's an out. It's a very loud out, but it's an out. Hilliard, Please destroy this baseball. It's hardly destroying the baseball, but I'll take it. It gets you on first. Okay, Hilliard is really freaking slow, and Anthony Young's not an amazing hitter, so we're going to do a couple substitutions here. Who is my best base runner? Is it really Elijah Jackson by a lot? It is Elijah Jackson. Yeah, let's bring you in to pinch run for Hilliard. And hitting for you, Bobby Ramirez, hitting for Anthony Young. You bring in a left-handed pitcher. That's fine. I tried. Guys, what the hell is with this today? What is with fouling off every single pitch? Let's get Vinny Diaz in the game. Why not? Because if we don't score 2 runs, it doesn't matter who plays what defensive position. And we score 0 runs. Fucking Giants. Like, let me be clear. I know this team wasn't very good this year, but there was a real chance to make things happen here. And I got stupid. There's literally no one to blame in this game but me. I should not have left McTavish in. I thought, what if I have him face lefties? I mean, look, there's another player here that's it's equally their fault. Mr. McFucking strike out 4 times, even though he's supposed to be the best hitter on the team. But I can't really complain that much. Because we probably shouldn't have been here. We probably shouldn't have made it as far as we did. And it's bittersweet. But I'm full of some hope for the future. I do think the biggest mistake we made was attempting to do the whole frickin' let's see who can play in the outfield thing instead of just designating people. That clearly was a mistake, and that is something I won't do again. I say, and will probably will do again because I'm not very bright. I probably kept Sanders too long. I probably kept Sanders for too long when he had very clearly demonstrated the fact that he couldn't hit anymore. Yeah, I mean, Tampa just raffle stomps the Giants. Would I have been any better? Hard to say, but yeah, all the freaking things are missing. I think there's a setting to do that though, to like have it find all the things again. Before I go any farther, I'm gonna really quickly see. Like, I know that that's in here somewhere. It's under functions. Like, there's a button here. Global settings? No. Players in FaceChat. You could check all picture buzz of all teams and leagues. I think it's because I reloaded this from a backup. That maybe it didn't have like the proper pictures or whatever. Let me see if this fixes it. I didn't even notice that it bothered me until it started bothering me. Okay, if I look at the playoff bracket now, I will look at the standings now. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. I could have done that way earlier. I just chose not to, I guess. Alright. As predicted, Salgado has picked up his player option. Interesting. I find it more interesting that Pagan didn't opt out. And that doesn't bode well for our future if he doesn't opt out. Um, I mean, maybe I can do better, maybe I can't. I don't know. But it means that I'm on the hook now for 3 more seasons. Alright. So first things first, let's handle the... Oh. South Africa baseball is posting players now? What? I had no idea South Africa was like this big baseball league, but I guess I'm here for it. I'm all about that. The KBO posted, nobody thrilling there. Alright, friends. Let's delete all of lay messages. Let's nuke them all into oblivion. And let's get our coaching staff set. So we really want people that are either temperamental or normal. Now I can't help but notice that Josh Parrish here is normal. So let's go ahead and promote you to being the bench coach in Pittsburgh. Now we need a third base coach. And Danny Patino is temperamental. Let's promote him too then. Done deal, guys. Done deal. Danny Patino, Josh Parrish is going to teach the outfield. And base running will be Charlie Miles. Catcher, Parrish is legendary. And yes, I'm good with this. Perfect. We should have a really positive coaching structure next season. Now let's talk about filling roles. So, are any of you secretly wanting to be a manager? I'm seeing no's there, and there, and there. You all just want to stay position coaches. That's fine. Freddie Vasquez is wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and give him the call to AAA. Kevin Steele, I kind of want one of my more talented people to leapfrog him. Because he won't take a promotion to high A. You're an excellent pitching coach. I don't want to mess with you. You're a very good hitting coach. You're a very good pitching coach. You're a very good hitting coach. All right. Who ends up taking the AA job? Jimmy Fisher is a really good coach. I think Jimmy Fisher has earned himself a promotion to the AA Altoona. Jorge Elizondo is fine. I could see him being my high A manager, but Chris Tucker's better, so I think he gets the call there. In-Ho Kim, Trujillo, Marrero is not terribly thrilling, but Salguero's a really good hitting coach. I think the problem is I don't have anybody else that seems like an obvious manager and waiting type. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a couple of rookie league managers. Some good ones. Mark Merritt would be perfection. I think you'd make a wonderful manager, and I want you to join our team. I want somebody fairly young if we can manage it, because that'll help us going forward. Let's get Steve G, actually. Steve-O, as he likes to be called, and let's give him that promotion. Let's give him that offer, rather. Next thing to talk about is let's talk about how the season actually went, whether we think things could go better, worse, or otherwise. We lacked any elite offensive talent this season. We had several good players. We didn't have anybody that really stood out as being truly elite. Chris Cannon came in as advertised. He actually was very productive for us, and I think he'll be a nice cornerstone type for us going forward. Elijah Bohannon was brought in to be a very competent leadoff guy, and he filled that role to perfection. I'm really happy with Bohannon, and I think he'll be a nice outfielder for a few years to come. Henry Salgado led the league in on-base percentage. And if he's decaying in other ways, his on-base skills are as good as they've ever been. And so it's not the end of the world to keep him around for one more season. The single most disappointing player this year was Tony Pagan, but I guess I shouldn't call him that disappointing. This is a guy whose calling card is meant to be hitting for average, and for whatever reason in Pittsburgh he hasn't. He is a far cry away from when he won a batting title in 2063. He's only had a handful of 300 seasons in his career, but he's trending in the wrong direction. And that really concerns me. Because he's always been a big strikeout guy. If he's not making contact when he doesn't strike out, his value to this team becomes severely limited. It may be time to move on from him. I don't want to move on from him too early. And just last season is still incredibly productive, so that's why I'm hesitating, but it may be something worth exploring. Tony Zamora. Is he the answer at center field, or does the revolving door need to continue to revolve? Defensively, he was somewhat underwhelming, but not terrible. The range factor could be better, but he didn't make many mistakes, and that's very, very helpful. If we break down his fielding a bit more, it's the even balls. So the ones that are outside of his range are where he struggled. Hopefully he can work on that a bit and be a better defender next season. His bat, look, he hit lots of doubles, quite a few singles, and stole bases. Those are all roles we don't have on this team, so I'm more than willing to let him keep going with that. Anthony Young deserves all the praise this season. Every last bit of it, because his nuclear start to the season helped us make the playoffs. I know he was significantly better last season. But without Anthony Young, we are not a playoff team. Without Anthony Young carrying us when all those other players were playing so poorly, I think we're in a much worse place. Alex Hilliard. I think I just need to commit to doing something with him in the future. Whether that's letting him DH every day and then pitch every 5 days, I don't know. But I feel like Hilliard continues to deliver in part-time work and might thrive with a bigger role. I'm not sure, though. Orlando Morales had a very nice season offensively. He's always been a nice offensive contributor in medium situations. This is one of the sadder declines that I've seen. Almaguer has been consistently a great hitter, and this season he just wasn't. His power numbers are right there, if not slightly better. But his actual hitting ability has really declined. And I'm stuck with a man for several more seasons, so maybe re-signing him wasn't a great idea either. Angelo Robinson. His glove was there. Maybe a few more errors than I'd like to see, but overall, I think he's an amazing defender, and I think he's a great fit for us. I'm less happy about the offense, but that's also not why he's here. I want to see him hit better if he can manage it, but it's not the end of the world. I do need a new left fielder, and that's probably the elephant in the room. Let's get it out of our system. Who was the most disappointing player for the Pirates this year? It's Danny Farias. Farias was brought here to do one job, which was hit lots and lots of home runs. And he couldn't stay healthy. So why am I keeping him when I could be giving Alex Hilliard his at-bats? I don't think it makes sense to keep him. Like, I'm not going to get anything great for him, right? But I think we need to cut our losses and try to move on from him if we can manage that. Let's really quickly try that now. I literally don't care who I get. I just want him off my roster. I'll even take somebody whose contract is, like, expiring. I may just need to wait until next season, until the free agency happens and a year ticks off everyone's contracts. But I can't play Farias again. I can't. I need him gone, and I need him gone right now. Because our payroll is gigantic at this point. And most of that is canon. And he's been worth it. But let's talk about pitching. Nate Sinclair, wonderful job. I don't know if Sinclair's going another Cy Young, but hey, I wouldn't count him out. Ed Hodges, literal genius as a reliever. Salgado, very good season. Hilliard. Now, Love and Broadwater both struggled. And I don't know why. I mean, they both allow more home runs. Love in particular. Broadwater's giant spike in walks is what concerns me more, though. Because if he's not walking people, then he's one of the better pitchers in the league. Way too many to give up on either one of them, though. But I'll tell you who I am going to give up on. Jesus Espinosa is gone. You can just go away. Juan Love. You've got your contract extension, my dude. Worth it. Fujii has a very nice role with this club. I certainly don't mind keeping him around a bit longer, and he doesn't cost me very much money. So on the whole, I think you're not getting a rotation spot. Don't delude yourself. You're a reliever on this team. Now, I like Ivan Latona a lot. I like him a lot. And he's been a very productive pitcher for us. I don't think he's worth $6 million, though. I genuinely don't. But I'll tell you who's worth even less dollars. And that's Justin Tuss. Justin, to his credit, has gotten hot at the right time. And he's been a productive pitcher. But he's a closer on a team that doesn't need a closer. And I think we probably want to trade him. I also think we keep Latona, though. I think one more season of Latona does make some sense. I'm not giving you $8 million, but I will give you $6 million. I think I'm okay with that. Bohannon, I will happily give you an extension and a nice raise in your salary because you were very productive when we needed you to be. Justin, I'm trading you right now. I should be able to get something fairly good for you. So I'm going to look at I'm going to look at prospects and at regulars and see what I can acquire for you. I'm looking for very, very talented outfielders. A new second baseman, maybe? I like Ortega's bat, but he's a terrible second baseman. I don't think so. Jose Lacayo is a nice little bat there. I can certainly appreciate that. David Zuniga, fastball slitter change. Great stuff, good control, okay movement. I could see bringing him in. You know what? No, I'm thinking. What if I got a prospect package? Like, I definitely want one pitcher, but I'd like to get more if I can. What if I did a player package? I'm not trading one reliever for 3 relievers. That just seems silly to me. Nah, we'll go back to the single player dealie here. I'm going to start by looking for the blues, and then we can go from there. Ivan Alcala, I don't think so. You're not true blue, you're just sort of blue. Like, if all I'm trying to accomplish is replacing Tufts, I have a litany of choices here. I have several excellent options of pitchers that are quite good. Fastball sinker guy, good movement, decent control, not amazing stuff. Interesting. But maybe a really top quality ground baller is what we need. Ernesto is thoroughly unremarkable. I like this Mitchell quite a bit. I might be willing to bring him on. Ruben Zamora. Great stuff in control. Fastball, sinker, changeup. Meh. Jose Flores. Stuff and control is pretty good. Movement is amazing. Fastball, sinker, cutter. 3 different fastballs seems excessive to me. Tony Velasquez. Fastball, sinker, curveball. Micah Boss is not very good, let alone a boss. Cortez Robles is unremarkable. Edwin Ulloa is all about strikeouts. If he's not striking people out, he's not going to be super effective. I don't think Josh Williams is a good fit. I am tempted by him more than I thought I would be. I got like Juan Solorio would be actually a pretty nice piece. I'll tell you what. I like Marchante a lot. Would you give me Marchante and Solorio? If I can get both, then I can get more? How about Jerry Marion? No, Jerry Marion for you is a deal breaker. That's fine, I guess. Jorge Lopez? No, that doesn't do it for you. Who do you have on your Major League roster? Maybe this is where I need to be looking for talent. I could get Alex Luna. Wait, what? No, I can't take Alex Luna unless they're going to eat part of his salary. Just for fun, if I asked him to cover the entire salary, no, okay. 80% of the salary. I'm giving you Broadwater. I'm not giving you Love either. Or Cannon. This is really interesting for me. And there's one risk that gives me pause. The fact that he hit really badly in last season. No, I have to pass on that. Can I get you to eat Farias's contract, please? No? Okay. They're probably pissed at me now. Like, what are you fucking talking about? We just gave you what you wanted and you backed out. Well, that's how it is sometimes, guys. That's how it is. I'm just gonna make this deal. It gets me an interesting prospect and a player that's basically Justin Tuss but younger. I'm gonna make that deal. Mario Machante is absolutely not a starting pitcher in this team. He's a reliever. I will offer Leo Campos. Oh, he doesn't want a contract extension. That's fair. Really? Okay. Alright. So now I have $20 million to spend in the off season, which is nice, if we can get away with it. I think it's going to end today's episode. Farias very clearly was a mistake. Very clearly. And if I can move on from him in 2068, once free agency trickles in, I will. Salgado's also highly overpriced, but he's a little bit more acceptable. A left fielder might be Hilliard. Have Hilliard play left field when he's not pitching. I could kind of go for that. Like my dude here was worth 4 wins last season between the mound and that. I mean, Dime Store Shohei Ohtani is Alex Hilliard. I'm willing to give it another go, and that'll also give pitchers like Dave McCabish a chance to ease their way into a bigger role on the club. Remember how all of our starters used to be like ancient and the hitters were all super young, and now it's the opposite? It's really crazy to see how baseball changes from season to season. We have a large collection of talented hitters. We just need to find the ones we think are the best fit for the club and just turn them loose. That's what we need. Um, we need Chris Cannon to keep playing at a high level. We need Tony Pagan. If Tony Pagan bounces back, I think we're going to be in fantastic shape going forward. If he doesn't, I think we think very, very strongly about replacing him. Because this contract should be a lot more movable than Farias's. This is what happens, guys, when you overpay because you think you need something. And in this case, I thought I desperately needed a hitter like Farias, and it turns out I didn't. I did not need that. Anyways, what I do need, my friends, are your likes and your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully the sound is even better this week than it was on Monday. And continue to give me that great feedback. It really helps a lot. It helps me make better videos that I think you will all find more entertaining. Until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you